Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. How are you all doing today? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Witch Saga stream. I see many of you already in the chat. Don't hesitate to say hello, hello. Let me know how you're doing today. Hi, Nordic. Hi, John. Hi, Dante. Hi, Demonic. Hi, Jake. Hello, hello. How are you all doing? How are you feeling today? How have you downloaded the update? What is going on? Let me know. Hi, I see a lot of first-time chatters. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. If this is your first time here, if this is your first time seeing me, hello, I'm Sydney. I'm the Senior Community Manager for Tribes of Midgard and Norsefell. I hold these streams usually every Friday. I know it's a Tuesday. I'm kind of messed up because I'm used to streaming on Fridays. But in any case, welcome to the stream. We're here to talk about a lot of fun stuff today. As you probably know, the Witch Saga update launched today for Tribes of Midgard. This is our fourth major update. I'll dive into a lot of specifics today. Basically, what I'm going to be doing with a special guest who I will introduce in just a couple moments is we're going to be going through the patch notes together. So if you haven't read them or if you want to hear a little bit more about them, some more context, if you have any questions, that's the point of the stream today. Feel free to write in the chat at any time. We have our lovely mods who are with us today who can answer your questions. I just saw a little fuzz in the air. It's fine. But yeah, they're here in the chat to answer your questions. I'm going to be here to answer your questions, as is our special guest. So in the meantime, I'll just be sure to also keep an eye on the chat and catch up with it as we do the stream. We've got a fun one planned for you today, so stay tuned. I hope you're ready. Hi, Zach. Hi, Zach Cruz. Hello. Hi, Nekarepper. Welcome back. It is new content day, indeed. It is very exciting. Today has been nonstop. Like, I'm telling you, from the moment we woke up, the team has been working so hard to get the update out, to get all those patch notes out for you. I think we've been swarmed in patch notes for the past couple days, but they are big. We do have very long patch notes today. We're just catching up. Did Junpei hide again? Yes, Junpei is still hiding. He's still hiding, but I promise he will be making another stream debut soon. Promise. That little bit of fuzz was from it was from Niflheim, actually. Ori. Hi, Ori, by the way. Welcome. Exactly. You paused the update to watch the stream. Oh my gosh, that's dedication. Thank you, Ori. Yes, there is an. Oh wait, Kaiju. I didn't see your name, and then I read. There's an update today. I was like, yeah, there is an update today, and then I read it was you. So. Long stream then. The stream should be around the normal stream time. We'll try to keep it to about an hour and a half if we can. Don't hold me to that. I think we can keep it to that amount of time, but it's going to be fun to go through the patch notes. Another thing to mention today is that there will be occasional shift drops. So we will be giving away a couple shift codes for the Garmir pup, which is the brand new puppy that you saw in the trailer that just was posted. It's that cute little purple dog. So all you have to do to get the shift code is to talk in the chat. As long as you're talking in the chat, that's all we need to do a random draw. And then you just have to keep an eye on your whispers on Twitch, or if you're on any other platform, just keep an eye on the mentions, and our mod will reach out to you to give you a shift code. You can redeem the shift codes on the Shift website. I will have one of our lovely mods drop that, and I see John already did in the chat. So that's how you redeem the shift code. You basically just sign up on that site, and then you use that shift code in the website. Just make sure it's linked to Tribes of Midgard as well. The shift code can be used on all platforms, so you can use it once on like Steam, Epic, you can use it on Xbox, etc. Like all the platforms, because Tribes of Midgard is on every platform, if you did not know. But yeah, without further ado, I think I'm gonna start. I think we're ready, if you guys are ready to go. Oh, hello, first time chatter. Hi, Nova. Hello. Hello, everyone. Yes, I am being shifty with the shift codes, in fact. True, Junpei is playing Tribes. He is busy playing Tribes. In fact, I want to be playing Tribes. I'm going to play Tribes soon, like after this stream. But we got to get through the stream first, and it's going to be fun to talk about all the new stuff. First time I'm able to catch the stream. Well, welcome. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Glad I finished the season for Surtur when I did just in time. Yes, you are just in time, and the new season is here. Mousy saying, loving the new cosmetics and the new update. Yay! I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm ready, I think, probably. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start then. I know Zach has been, I feel like Zach has been in like the side room right now waiting. But I'm gonna introduce our special guest today, and I'm gonna do the switch to welcome in Zach. Everybody say hello to Zach in the chat. This is Zach.
Hello.
Yes, and let us know like if Zach's volume is good compared to my volume. Please, if I'm too quiet, I can turn myself up. But yeah, this is Zach. This is our producer for Tribes of Midgard at Norsefell. This is his very first time on stream. Yes, please say hello in the chat. He's going to be reading the Twitch chat at the same time. Um, season day, woohoo! Yes,
Be
yes.
gentle.
Be gentle, be kind. But I'm going to let Zach introduce himself. Zach, what do you do here? Can you talk a little bit about who you are, maybe to the chat for the first time?
So I am Zach. I am the producer. Producer can mean different thing, different places, but for me, the long and short of it is I build a lot of the production schedules, build the timelines, the deadlines, make sure they're seen through. Outside of that, I basically just work with every team to make sure they have what they're doing and try to bring up the quality as much as possible. I work with the design team on like feedback and features, balancing feedback, especially. I play a lot of this game. Um, I work with the art team on like what kind of cosmetics to bring forth. Work with Julian on strategy. I also do a lot of the narrative and lore stuff, so a lot of the flavor text and dialogue I write, and just basically helping out wherever I can. Sometimes that means hopping into a VO booth to do like Surtur's voice. Um, yeah, a little bit of
Yeah.
everything all of the time for any Bo Burnham fans out there.
Yes.
It's probably the best way I can describe it.
That's perfect, including me, Boredom fan. But yes, Kaiju also said producer equals overlord. You are kind of an overlord because you kind of have the vision over everything that's happening in the game. I would describe it like that too.
As Thanos said, cursed with knowledge.
Exactly. Is Zack the new Saga boss? Well, Zack was Zack. Zack is the Saga boss, or the ancient
Yep.
voice for Surtur. He actually is the voice of Surtur. So if you go in game, you
Yeah.
hear Surtur's lines. That's Zack. Yeah.
Yeah. Learning High Midgardian to deliver lines like was it Sword, skin, their soul.
Oh my god. Oh my
I
god.
love it.
Chills, chills. Yeah, I love that. I love that. That was cool to like see all those recordings too of like you doing that and then actually learning High Midgardian. I feel like that must have been like difficult too to learn High Midgardian and then with the
Yes,
right like
I
inflections.
everyone who knows me knows that I am terrible with languages.
Okay.
Whereas Julian is like great, he's gifted with languages, so he can pick up dialects and pronunciations.
Yeah.
I can imitate, so I know when with High Midgardians a lot of like rolling R's and like adding syllables where there shouldn't be syllables. So it was
Yeah.
funny having Julian in the booth next to me trying to like coach
Yeah.
towards like kind of like Icelandic pronunciations for words that don't exist. It's
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's a good flow. And for those who don't know, yeah, High Midgardian is the language in game. It's a mix of Icelandic and Swedish together. So it's like its kind of own combination, and it's what
Mhm.
everybody speaks in the game. It's even all the ancients, the villagers,
Mhm.
everybody speaks this language together. Just catching up with the chat. If I miss anything, feel free to ask it again, and mods will also answer your questions too. Deggy, thanks for the new season. Awesome! You did your first run in season 4. Amazing. We need courses in High Midgardian. Yes. You can also find the High Midgardian on our wiki. We actually have a page on the wiki, and it has the current known High Midgardian. We have to update it for season 4, definitely, but it's a good place if you want to start learning High Midgardian. You can actually go and do that. I was wondering where it came from. Yes, let's get it in Duolingo. I agree. But yeah,
That'd be
absolutely.
awesome.
That would be fun. That would be
I
cool.
would use it.
Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, as you mentioned, Zach as well, Zach does do, like you said, like a lot of the narrative and lore, and then you actually like wrote the patch notes too. I think that's important to
Yeah.
note since we're going to
I,
be going through the patch notes today. Yeah.
yeah, I read the release notes, and it's
Yeah.
always fun to see when people are like, "Whoa, there's a lot." It's like,
Hmm.
trust me, I know. Because in addition to just working on it day in and day out, whenever it comes to the end of a release, and I'm just like, every line item, I was just like, man, we do add a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely. And even with the trimming, I feel like there was like significant trimming too. Like we tried to keep it as concise as possible. But if you're in the chat, if you had read the patch notes, they are quite lengthy, but for a good reason. Like we added a lot of content to the game and wanted to also, like Zach with your comments that you have in the patch notes that we're going to go through,
Yeah,
wanted to provide context. We just didn't want to tell you like we're doing these things to the game. We want to say more like why we're doing these things to the game. I think that's something we want to emphasize as well.
absolutely. Yeah, it's something that's really important to me to add, and hopefully we can explore it further.
Absolutely. Long patch notes is so good. Awesome. Me and the wife are lurking in chat since we are mid-run. Good luck on your run. Hope you enjoy and have a good time and take down the ancients.
Yeah, don't let us distract from that optimal run.
Exactly, exactly. Zach
Or do.
Cruz, or two, exactly. Zach Cruz saying, I was definitely surprised to see Jorm variants. Super cool, though. I think I did see that comment before we jumped into the patch notes, just general talking about what I've seen today. I also saw that people were surprised that we had a Jormy variant. I think because we haven't said anything about it. Like, we just dropped Vile Spitter, Jormungandr, just out of nowhere from the sky.
Yormi sneaks up on you, man.
Yeah,
That's kind of his whole thing.
yeah, absolutely. I think this could be kind of a fun, maybe technical question. What project management tool do y'all use? I feel like we can speak to this if we would like.
I mean, so before I was a producer, I worked in QA and project management in general. Some people are divisive about it, but I think Jira is probably one of the best tools out there if you know how to use it, and it's highly customizable. But yes, we use Jira.
Mm-hmm.
We use Jira, and we have internal Slacks and all of
Yeah,
that stuff.
absolutely. Troubled Vixen saying some things are just so hard to pronounce, so I think it's amazing you took time to learn the language. Yeah, absolutely. Like like Zach was just saying, tough pronunciation, but you just take the time, you have a good coach, and then you can get through and you can do it.
Yeah.
Without, I think, yeah, I'm trying to keep up on the questions here. As oh yes, last reminder before we do jump into the patch notes, as I just mentioned, if you're coming to the stream, we will have the occasional shift drop as well. You don't have to do anything; you just have to talk in the chat. That's all you have to do, and we'll just have a random draw. You'll just have to keep an eye on your messages, and one of our mods will reach out to you with a shift code for the Garmer pup, which is the new puppy for season 4. I was gonna say the Witch Saga update. Can you raise Zach's voice slightly? Yes, I can.
That's on me. I'm one of them
Oh my
low
gosh.
talkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like I am too. So I feel like I just have to find the good like level. Okay, I updated. Gigi, tell me if Zach's voice is better. I was wondering where the Jormungandr variant, but here it is. More annoying than the normal one. I haven't fought the variant yet. I know Zach, you probably have, like
Oh yeah.
sometimes. Okay, okay.
We went all in on Jormungandr's infamous poison mechanic, which is
Yeah.
also super relevant to the lore. So yeah, I
hmm
think we expected him to be annoying. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I can't wait to fight him. Oh yes, I will pull up one more question from Budev saying I'll try to keep it as brief as possible, because we will be talking about it in depth in the patch notes. But what is your favorite class of all time? Would you say, like at this
Ooh.
point, like in season 4, what would you say is your favorite class?
Um, when I play like action RPGs or anything, I like tanky classes. My usual de facto was kind of warrior because it's kind of good at everything. Um, it's no secret internally that Sentinel is my favorite class. The shield throwing and the utility with the stun has always been super fun, and
hmm
just always have an ability in your back pocket.
Yeah.
However, I think with the updates, and we'll get to it, but I think the updates that we made to Guardian, it's sneaking up there.
All right. All right. Good answer. I think for me, it's funny because my answers are probably mine are different. I would say like right now, based on season 4, or based on the Witch Saga update, I would say I really liked the Hunter. I played the Hunter in my like gameplay playthrough just because I feel like I always get myself into situations where I would like to be like the enemies to be distracted, and just by having that decoy, like it takes the focus
Yeah.
off of me, and then I can fight them from different angles. I feel like that works really well. And then having like the archer there, and then also having Sketty's wolf to fight for me is also quite nice. I feel like it's a good solo class, just personally,
Mm-hmm.
because then I kind of have that help from the blessings, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we would buff the hunter as well. Those decoys specifically. Hunter's great for like going into a place that you know you shouldn't be.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, because I like to test the limits. I like to push and see how far
Yeah,
I can go in the game. Yeah,
risk reward
absolutely.
play style. I get you.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I think with that, I'm just taking a look at everybody else's favorite classes in the chat. Amazing. Hey, look, it's my favorite streamer duo. Hello. Hello.
I
Welcome to the
recognize
chat.
the handle.
Yes, I do too. Hunter buffs are sick though. Yes. Okay. I mean, with that, I think if you guys are ready, I also want to throw up two disclaimers here. The first disclaimer being, obviously, this stream is going to be super spoiler heavy, so we're going to be going through the patch notes. We're going to be showing you assets. We're going to be showing you a bunch of images, maybe some you haven't seen before, but still relating to the new content. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you can click out now. But I hope you stay. And then the second one being, we should be good for stream capabilities right now. Things seem to be going smooth. If for some reason internet or lag becomes an issue, I will try to relaunch the stream. So just stick around on Twitch. Things should be good. Let's cross our fingers. Nothing. Everything's gonna go fine. I'm manifesting it. It's fine. All right. So with that, I'm gonna swap over to the next scene. Voila. So obviously, if you have any questions, like I said, please feel free to drop them in the chat. But for now, I just wanted to show obviously the new key art that we debuted today. So there is Hell in all her glory. We have some mysterious like corruption going on here. You can see some of the new sets. You can see the Niflheim set in the foreground, which Ira is wearing. You can see one of the big bad boys, which is the Helthing Guardling, and then the Draugr kind of looming in the background there. So that was the first thing. We were excited to share this new key art, which is really exciting. And then the other thing that we wanted to share, which is arguably like one of the biggest I would say notable things about the update is that we now have crossplay between Xbox and PC players. So for the very first time, we have crossplay. We can finally say it for everybody who's been asking on Discord and on Twitter. Like we have crossplay. You can play together. We're so excited for everybody to be able to join up, to tribe up, and you can join our Discord if you do want to find people to play with. But yeah, I think Zach, maybe if you wanted to mention some of what that looks like in game or how people can join up. I think you had a note on that.
Yeah, you can use the in-game search feature. When you click on the invite button, there's now tabs, and you can search from like a player search feature, and it'll search all the platforms databases. It's actually pretty convenient. Also, if you want to search people on your own platform, just pop in their handle. But yes, that works cross-platform, so you can send an invite right over, and then in the lobby, you'll notice an icon next to the player name of distinguishing whether they're on PC or Xbox, and you'll also matchmake right into a mixed group if you'd like as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's in.
If it's
It
in, it's
works.
here. Everybody can team up. Yes, I do see some comments about cross-platform globally. We don't have anything to share about that right now. If there is, of course, we'll always let you know, but nothing to share just right now at this time. But yeah, that's one of the biggest, coolest things I would say. I will also be sharing the patch notes on the screen in just a second. Let me just flip that up here. There we go. Okay, you can see them. Perfect. So these are the patch notes. We have them on our website now, so you can check them out there. But I think one of the first things we want to talk about was the new biome. So we have a new biome, which is Niflheim. This is accessed a little bit differently than Midgard. What you'll do to access it is that you will open the map and then you'll press T on keyboard. I don't know the controller input. Maybe Zach, you know it. Do you know like to change the realms on controller? If not, that's okay.
Ooh,
I know I'm a keyboard
I'm
I'm a
trying to
keyboard
remember
mouse
Big Bird.
player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a
yeah.
keyboard mouse player as well.
Okay. But in any case, if you open up the map, you can figure out how to flip the realm, and then the realm will change, and then you'll be able to, see Niflheim. So this is our new biome. It's accessed by undergates, which you have probably been seeing on our Twitter if you've been keeping an eye on the spoilers. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in particular I wanted to call out about this biome. Is there anything else you can add to the biome,
It
Zach?
is cold. I don't know
Yes.
if you've emphasized how
Yes.
cold it is. Cold in italics,
Yes.
maybe
Hmm.
an underline. Thought the volcanic spires of the Inferno Saga were hot, then Niflheim is the mirror of that in terms of its cold. And it is always night down there, so
Yes.
night already adds a layer of cold on top of how cold it already is.
Yep.
And yeah, the permanent night also comes with its own dangers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what you're saying is we wanna gear up for sure when we're heading into Niflheim.
Yeah,
I think that's
not for
like
the
a
faint of
tip.
heart.
Yep, exactly. I feel like I'm always gonna try, but yeah, definitely gotta gear up. So yeah, we have the new biome, of course. Then we have the new ancient, which is Hell. I'm gonna share my favorite clip of her here right now. So this is Hell. Oh, sorry. No, that's Niflheim. Hold on. Wrong clip. This is Niflheim. Here's Niflheim. A little reminder if you want to see what it looks like. This is
The
Hell.
beauty belies the danger.
the beauty, and this is Hell. She is waiting for you in the biome of Niflheim. She's the ruler of the underworld. She's this underworldly being. She's our new ancient. And as I mentioned earlier, she joins the other ancients that we have. So none of the other content from the other seasons is gone. It's still there. You can still fight all the other three ancients. Um, we have Fenrir from the Wolf Saga from the first season. We have Jormungandr from Serpent Saga, second season. Then Surtur from Inferno Saga, which was the most recent season. And then we have Hell here from the Witch Saga. So you can find them all. I haven't. Oh, I did actually. I saw one in our Discord of somebody killing all four ancients. And I was like,
Hmm.
already? Like, already? That was so fast. I am.
Quadrukill.
Yeah, Quadrikill. I don't think I've
Yes.
seen it solo yet. But
Hmm.
I know you've done it solo before. I
Yeah,
think you said. Okay, okay.
I have done it a couple times. It's fun.
Okay,
And
amazing.
what's interesting about Hell is, for the other ancients, as you've seen, we started off with Fenrir,
Yep.
and then we're like, let's go bigger. And then we do Jormungandr, and we're like, let's go bigger. And
Yes,
then we do
true.
Surtur, and then with
And then
Hell, there's
Hell.
a unique opportunity to like shrink it right down and have a faster paced, more chaotic, but also more twitchy and deadly encounter
Yeah.
in some ways.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting dichotomy.
Yeah, that's so true. I just thought about that when we talk about, yeah, they were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and Surtur was just like enormous, and then we were like, Hell. She's gonna be. She's taller than like the average player, but she's still a lot smaller compared to all of our other ancients. Just gonna catch in the chat if there was any questions. I'm a little bit behind, but I think we are all pretty good. And something I wanted to mention as well is if you are experiencing, I may have seen a couple in the chat, any issues with the new update, don't hesitate to join our Discord and write it in the report bugs channel. We're going to be having an eye on that all the time, just to make sure we can address any bugs you're coming across. I'm excited to see how the speedrunners get through it, Ori. I did all four solo. It was rough, but I loved it. Oh my gosh. Wow, congratulations.
Congrats.
That's amazing. Bigger, bigger. Okay, let's tone it back. True, true, true. Yes, there are some new options for building. We'll get to that in the patch notes as well. There has been updates to that. So yeah, we have Hell, of course, here. Something else that is new is that we added farming. So you may have seen the clips of farming before. Here's a little clip to remind you. But basically, you're going to be able to, with your new shovel tool, farm in both Saga and Survival. So it's in both modes. I had some people ask if it was just in Survival, but it's not. It's in both. You will be able to get essences and then plant those essences. And there's a little bit more as to how that system works. I know, Zach, you've used this in both modes before. Is there anything more you'd want to say about this?
Yeah. So in survival, its uses are obvious, in which because it takes time to kind of cultivate before you can harvest the material. Survival, you got all the time in the world. You can go collect essences. They're from a variety of drops. Sometimes when just harvesting the item out in the wild, you might get an essence. So keep an eye on your inventory. Some chests, like we'll get to it, like when we have the new caves, the chests also have a lot of refined materials, but also essences. So in survival, plant them, farm them ad nauseum, loop, loop, loop. However, as we all know in Saga, logistics are the true enemy, in addition to ancients. So timing is everything. But a great strategy is if you manage to get some essences early on, either through a starter kit or from just good old fashioned RNG. What you could do is use your trusty shovel, plant some holes near the village. A good tip is plant it between the village entrance and the sanctuary from where you waystone back to. That
Yep.
way you come across your little farming location
Yep.
on your way back to town.
Yep.
And then you can plant what you need that'll help you with potions and materials for mid and late game. It's another way of kind of just increasing your options and agency for tackling those ramping
Mm-hmm.
difficulties as the game goes on, or just getting a head start.
Yeah, absolutely. And I used that tip when I was doing a playthrough as well. Like you were saying to place it along areas that you go to often. I did that. It worked really well because I could just
Mm.
incorporate it as part of like my daily routine in Saga mode.
I think someone
Yeah.
mentioned in the chat that yes, you can plant rocks. So that's one of the things that we wanted to
Yes.
kind of lean into with survival. We have like the all forge where like Dwarven magic, if anybody's read up on Norse mythology, Dwarven magic is weird. Yggdrasil magic is weird. Magic in Norse mythology is weird, but I love it.
Yes.
So it lets us just do all these kinds of things. So rather than planting seeds, there's a reason we call them essences, because it's kind of like the soul of a thing,
Yeah.
which is what allows it to nourish and grow. So as you can even see in the image, planting garnet and sapphire, watching
Yeah.
it grow.
Yeah. That's
Magic.
magical. I wish I could do that in real life. I wish I could.
Soon,
Soon.
but you didn't hear it from me.
All right. Yes, rocks, rocks. Yes. Yes, we can farm stones. I love that everybody's picking up on that. Finally, oh, Baron Plume, finally catching a live stream. Signed up on Twitch just to be able to follow. Long time Tribes fan. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy. Da, da, da. I haven't played with essences yet. Are they one-time harvest? Are they one-time harvest?
So if you have an essence, you can plant it, but
Yeah.
you might find that you get like 2 or 3 essences from a drop, or you can accumulate multiple essences as well. And when you go to harvest a harvestable crop after it's had time to grow, there is always the chance that you'll get more essences from that harvest.
Okay, so chance of
So if
like
you,
infinite essences, basically.
yeah, so like
Okay.
for example, if I dug up a hole, planted mushrooms in there, and I had 1 mushroom essence, and I come back, mushroom is ready to harvest, there's a chance on that when I'm grabbing the mushroom that I'll get another essence from it to
Mhm.
kind of continue the circle of
Amazing.
life.
It is the circle of life. Amazing. Yeah, we can keep going in the patch notes. I did see somebody just mention this. Let me bring it up. But that is that. Uh, bring up the patch notes. Perfect. Uh, is that, yeah, ancients, oh yes, these two things, these 2 points, one being that in survival mode ancients respawn and grow stronger. So this was one of the top community suggestions. So every time you defeat an ancient in survival mode, they will respawn, they will level up, they'll get stronger each time, giving you more to yearn for in survival mode, more to achieve, more to accomplish, which is going to be really fun. And then something I saw somebody mention as well was that survival, you can now have a starter kit to start off with. It's not just in saga mode anymore. You can choose your starter kit. And as Zach and I were talking, starter kit, it's really to help you, to give you a boost in the beginning. And as just mentioned, you can use that new starter kit, which we'll go over. There is a new one that contains essences. So if you really want to get out there and start farming right away, you can take that starter kit if you have it, and then use that to farm, which is really
Yep.
cool.
I think a theme that you'll see when we start getting into like the balancing later on and stuff like that is that we just really want to increase players' options for how they tackle the content. So
Okay.
between testing out your builds against harder and harder ancients, and then also starting off a survival game with a starter kit and seeing,
Yeah.
maybe your favorite starter kit isn't as good in survival as it is in saga, or vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then this next point is in Saga mode. We're going back to Saga mode. You might have noticed that Dagny, who is the healer in the village, I'll pull up a little picture of her. So the healer in the village, she is now able to be upgraded. So the other villagers were able to be upgraded, and then when you upgrade them, they become better fighters. Dagny is now upgradable. Finally, woo! She can be upgraded. She can become a better fighter, and her healing will increase the more you upgrade her. So you can count on Dagny to be there for you. So go ahead, upgrade her. The choice is yours.
She was getting jealous that everybody else was getting fed tasty souls.
Very true. And then, yeah, this one, I think also, this next point speaks to the options to play the game, which is that you can now drop runes, which is huge. This is something that I personally think is going to change so much of how I play tribes, how you guys play tribes, is that you can share runes with each other. So if you have a rune that you want to give to somebody, if you can do that, I feel like that's all I have to say about that. Like, I don't know if you have anything else to add, Zach, but I'm just super excited to, like, even if you guys in the
Yeah,
chat have done this yet, or if you have ideas of what you want to do, let us know. I'm curious to know.
yeah, it's fun. I was like the trading. We were already kind of unofficially doing it in a way. I know we play with one of our programmers, Yuan. I remember back in the day, I was one of the early adopters of the nothing to hide because I love risk reward play styles. And
Yeah.
just every time he would find one in the wild, he would just kind of call it out, and I would
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
travel across the world to go pick it up to stack it. But
Yeah.
this just kind of reduces, you know, the
Yeah.
middleman and all of that.
totally. That was totally like the unofficial way of doing it. But this way it'll be a lot easier to do that. So yeah, combine your favorite effects. Something else that is completely brand new, and I'll check the chat in just a second, is in survival mode, there's this new challenge, which is basically defense of the saplings. It's like wave defense mode. I'm just gonna put the image here so you can see it a little bit better. I'll let Zach dive into it a little bit more in depth. I've done this maybe once or twice in the game so far, but these are saplings, and you find them in the game, right, Zach? Like in each biome, there
Yeah.
should be a sapling.
Yeah, each biome you can find one. They're not easily spelled out, so it takes some exploration in survival mode to stumble across them. You'll see their icon on the mini map of the map if you find them. They start off as a kind of paltry little itty bitty sapling, and what you can do is you can go up to it and trigger a wave, because we all know that forces of Ragnarok like to feast on seeds of Yggdrasil. It's what they do. So by triggering this wave and defending against it, so you can, as you can see from the clip, build a perimeter around it. Have new more defensive items. We had the archer towers before. You can build this kind of garrison to protect it, and if you survive that wave, you'll get rewards, and you can use those rewards to upgrade that sapling. One of the reasons to upgrade it is that the soil around a sapling is like super magic fertile ground. So if you plant any essences around it, those essences will actually grow faster. And the higher level that the sapling is, the faster that they'll grow, the more powerful that the wave you'll need to defend against will be, which also means the better rewards. And the type of enemies that you fight in these waves will be dependent on the biome. So here in the image, we have like the bright forest sapling, but they may not be the same kind of enemies that you fight when you're taking on like Smoky Highlands. But yeah, it's great. It's like a little like mini horde mode, mini tower defense mode. Just I love that kind of stuff. So whenever I find one in survival, I just kind of get addicted to just firing it up, trying to do it with minimal defenses, and moving on, trying it somewhere else. But yeah,
Yeah, I think it would be a challenge like when you have minimal defenses, but as you can see in the clip here too, you can also put up, as we'll say later in the patch notes too, these new constructions like the poison ballista and then the fire turret are going to be new placeable constructions that you can put anywhere, which will also help you defending the sapling in this area. I'm just going to catch up a bit on the chat on any questions. From Neck Ripper, we had, is there a cap on ancients in survival? I believe that was in the patch notes. Do we know if there's a cap on ancients in survival in terms of leveling up?
the level up, I
Is it
believe they
10?
cap out at 10.
Okay, I thought it was 10. Okay, I believe it is 10. We'll double check as we go through the patch notes. Let me see if I had any more questions. I just see that's a great feature. I'm not sure which one this refers to, but thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Neck Ripper, I got your question. Are these waves infinitely repeatable for the saplings?
You can, but there's a cooldown.
All right, so there is a cooldown. Okay. That's good. Seems like a fun challenge. Ultimate, will we get to plant our main tree anywhere on the map? Not currently. Yggdrasil will always be in the same place in survival on the map, but these will be found in each biome. But you can you can set up your village anywhere you want. You don't have to set up your village around the seat of Yggdrasil. And yes, the link that John dropped was for the patch notes if you want to check out the patch notes yourself. Questions in chat, did I do it right? Yes, Zach, I see your question. That is a question. GG. Amazing. Yes.
If you do find a sapling out there and you do want to build your village around it in order to maximize that farming, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Absolutely. Cool. I'm gonna scoot to the next section. Make sure I have the right. Perfect. Okay. So the next section that we're going to talk about is crafting. So the first part of this is the new meal effects. So the meals that are currently in the game and the new ones have a chance to trigger a secondary effect when you consume them. So for example, the sap juice, when you drink that, there's a chance to drop a healing orb, and this is just to overall buff the efficiency of the meals that we have in game. So all good stuff here. So if you want to be making those meals.
Gives them a little bit more, differentiates them a little bit more from the potion consumables, and also because they stack higher. and some of their immediate effects aren't as potent as a potion. But now with this, adding that little kind of like RNG flair, they can sometimes be more valuable use of your slot if luck is in your favor. But yeah, it's just a nice little bonus. So when you're like eating 6 portions of grilled meat, you might get some extra health out of it.
Perfect. Perfect. And then along with the new meals, there are new meal recipes. So they're right here. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but there's like the mana sashimi, speed medley, shell stew, vitality barbecue, and power broth. Power broth is pretty cool because it gives you an aura of bonus damage around you and a chance to trigger a trail of fire in your wake when consuming. So pretty powerful stew, I would say, if you're looking for some more damage in your build. I wonder
Like a
what's in that
mighty
stew.
spicy gumbo.
Yeah,
I
yes.
think
It's like, what's in that
I think
stew?
I think I make a joke about that in the flavor
Yeah.
text for the item. But yeah, dropping a bit of fire is an awesome effect after, and what we're talking about with the ancients also leveling up, which means you're going to have to keep getting stronger and stronger to deal with that increasing HP pool, and power broth is one of those options.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, I'm like, is that really spicy? Like that's in my head at least. That's what it is. Yeah, but then in terms of new crafted equipment recipes, we also have some fun stuff to talk about here. So crafted equipment means that it's equipment you craft in the game. This is not cosmetic, but I'll make a little comment about cosmetic after. The first one would be the feral spear. We obviously have the feral hammer already in the game. It's one of my favorite weapons to use, and I know Quetzaltry, you just left a comment in the chat talking about how you're glad to start with your feral hammer in survival. But now we have the feral spear, so this is joining the roster of feral weapons. We have and Zach, stop me if there's anything you want to mention about them. But we have the
Flailed
Niflheim.
spear is good spearing. It's
That's true.
that flurry, the triple stab is really effective against single targets, or if you got them in a cone. And I love the dash. I like any ability that is like a charge kind of ability, just for getting into the fray faster.
Yep.
And Feral Spear is not that hard to make, so
Yeah.
it does tap out at rare like a lot of the others, but it's really great use for early, and it can stretch pretty well into the mid game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one is the Niflheim brand. So this is a type of sword. You have whirlwind, circle around you, nice AoE as swords usually do, and trail strike, so a lane of frost. And we have never had a cold sword before, an ice weapon. So this is a new weapon in the game. We also have the Niflheim Shard, which is going to be added. I will put up an image right here so you can see them a little bit closer up along with the Niflheim armor set. So the armor perk that comes with the Niflheim armor set is that it is fallen up, so you deal extra damage to fallen foes, so those undead like Unsunken, Unfrozen, and then Draugr, which are also undead enemies. And you get this as a season reward. That's how you can unlock it. But this is the Niflheim armor set. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like the looks of it? Along with being a crafted item in the game, it's also a cosmetic because the crafted items are all also cosmetics. So you can pick that up if you want to wear it anytime, not just craft it in the game. But these are what the weapons look like here.
One note about the armor set is that it's kind of like the mirror of the Gulveg set. So what it does for helping with hot temperature zones, the Niflheim armor set helps for cold. It is a rare set, so it's not as high protection or cold resistance as like the Utgard Epic cold set, but it's pretty close. So it's a great option for like even in the rare tier being able to deal with some cold zones.
Exactly. So yeah, that is the Niflheim set. I'm just checking if there's any other questions that we have missed here.
I think someone asked earlier if the power broth was like Ragnarage and
Mm,
gave power to your enemies as well. No, that one's just for you and your buddies. You do
right.
not need to fear the broth.
Interesting Red Sox. There's an interesting question from Red Sox that I do want to bring up. Just generally not patch notes related, but if more ancients are added to Saga down the road, would the day 15 window potentially be revisited? I think that's an interesting one to think about. I don't think we'll be able to answer it here, but it's something valid to bring up. I think in some way it makes the game more challenging if you want to try to do that quadruple kill or what's five? I don't know
And
the
is that
pentakill?
Penta? Is that
Pentakill?
Penta? think that's bad.
League of Legends? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's Pentakill. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm curious to see how everybody approaches it, especially for this season, and seeing the time. We'll definitely keep an eye on that too. I think I'm
And
caught up.
we do definitely lean into survival as the option for people who don't like that kind of Fimbulwinter ceiling
Yeah,
and want to
true.
kind of go beyond that. Whereas that Fimbulwinter ceiling kind of does create that that sense of urgency for the saga mode, and that's kind of why we also, when we added a little moniker to it, it's kind of like a last stand. It's kind of a inherently a time attack mode.
Yep, exactly. Just checking. Will we get the Niflheim weapons as cosmetics also? Yes, I believe the full, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, the full Niflheim is available as cosmetic?
Yep. Ever
Okay.
since I think a few updates ago, we added it so that all in-game armor recipes will also have a cosmetic option if you go to Golden Horn section.
Mhm. Perfect. Our Sarian Cat, just to answer briefly your question about platinum coins, we are looking into it. Not sure if it will be possible to have other ways to earn them, but it's something we're looking into. Perfect. So I think I'll continue on down. What's our next one? Oh yes, we're going to be talking about the Hell set. So we have the Hell War Scythe, which is also a new craftable, which has some pretty cool spells that I believe kind of echo what Hell's attacks do. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it looks pretty sweet.
They're very heavily inspired by
Okay.
what she can dish out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And then we have the Hell armor set, which is arguably like my favorite set added to the game with the cape and everything. I just think it looks beautiful and I'm so ready to wear it in the game. But yeah, the armor perk for the Hell set is Leech, so a chance to regenerate a percentage of the damage done when you strike a foe, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah. It's again, it's awesome for those scaling difficulties when enemies can pretty much one shot you even at high level.
Hmm.
Combine that with like Guardian's last stand ability to survive a fatal blow.
Yep.
Use the Hellset's leech after a spell to get some health back in a pinch.
Hmm.
It's a great combo.
Absolutely. And if there are no further questions, let me just double check the chat. I see some comments on mounts. That is still something in our roadmap. Still something that has been in our roadmap. That is all I can say for now. Exon Jason, hi, just tuning in. Have I missed anything awesome? Don't worry, you're not too late. Don't worry, you're not too late. We've been talking about some awesome stuff. We've basically just been going through the patch notes for the Witch Saga update, which is live now today. I'm here with our producer Zach right below me, and we're just going through the patch notes. We're showing you the assets. We're showing you everything that is new, explaining it a little bit more, and then if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. We also have some random shift drops going on, so we're giving away the Garmer pup, which is a little puppy, the new puppy of season 4, one of the new pets, and all you have to do is chat in the chat, and then you have a chance to earn that, and you just have to keep an eye on your messages. One of our mods will reach out and drop a code for you. I think that's the recap of everything that's been happening so far. Kaiju, I want the hell set. It looks hella awesome. I've been making that joke too many times on
There's
Twitter
so
today.
many hell
I
puns.
know,
There's
I
so many
know.
hell puns.
I can't
I
stop
was
myself.
when
Yeah,
writing the logo,
yeah.
I was like, no more, Zach, stop it, no more hell
Hmm.
puns.
I know. Even today, I'm just like, it's gonna be a hell of a time, you know?
Yeah,
Ugh, it's
it
gonna be,
just
yeah.
Hell's War Scythe if we just dual wield them and call them Hell's Bells and just
Oh my god. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Just catching up. Okay, cool. Are we having another quiz today, Neck River? Not today. No quiz today, because it is a Tuesday. We will. I'm 99% sure we'll have a quiz on Friday. We keep the streams and quizzes together on Fridays, so you can look forward to that. Sagittarius, can't wait to play. So excited to play. Awesome. I'm excited for you to play and try it out. You need. Jukebox says you need help. We do. We do need help. Uh,
no regrets.
no regrets. WAD asking, are survival worlds going to be wiped again in future seasons? Yes, for that is kind of how it's been. For each major update, we do reset the worlds. We do give you a little heads up. You can kind of expect it unless we say otherwise on our socials that they are not going to be wiped. We need that to do that to make room for the new content, the new features, the fixes, and how those features are going to interact with how the game is. We just need to do that for technical reasons as well. If that ever changes, like I said, we will definitely let you know, but you can kind of expect that
Yeah, we're
for now.
always looking into improvements, but
Yeah.
anytime that the world or the world generation fundamentally changes, it comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Definitely. Jahan saying just bought the game and I've been enjoying it a lot. That's awesome. Let us know what your favorite things are about the game. You can join our Discord. You can tell us here. We'd love to know. We'd love to know. We're going to be passing on all the feedback from everything you guys have been saying today with the team, so don't hesitate to let us know in our Discord. These puns are hell. Stop. But never stop. And there's the Discord link. Perfect. So I'm going to move on, as we were just talking, to content, which is the next section of the patch notes. So we're going to talk about runes now. So there was 10 new runes added to this update, the Witch Saga update. Let me scroll down just a little bit and make this bigger for you. Voila. Okay, perfect. So we have 10 new runes. I won't go over like every single one of them, but maybe briefly talk about them. We have charging time, which is kind of similar to banner time. Banner time, when you stay idle, you get your health back. I use this one a lot. I find myself using it a lot. But this one instead, charging time is relating to mana, so just idling, getting mana. Nordic Spa is you're swimming and you can regenerate health when you're swimming. Very useful if you're like the one that's always going for Jeremy and you just are in that water. Walking Furnace and Walking Fridge are kind of like the opposite of each other. So Walking Furnace keeps you warmer, Walking Fridge keeps you cooler. Yes. And top tier increases damage dealt with any equipped weapon by 10%, which is also nice if you want to, use a couple of these. I don't care increases damage dealt by ice, fire, dark, and thunder effects by 10%. So this one's very elemental based. Healthing Slayer, according to its name, you just increase damage to healthings. Shovel Warfare is one that I quite like a lot because every time you use the shovel, there's just this big explosion. It's kind of like Harvest Boom, similar to that, I would say. Riposte Finale, defeated enemies have a 15% chance to trigger an explosion of magical fireworks, which is kind of a cool effect. And then finally, the Hell Rune, which nullifies cold temperature effects completely. So when you defeat Hell, you will get the Hell Rune, similar to how you get other ancient runes. Uh, from the Zack, is there any that you would like to call out as like your favorite or something that you have been using or
Well,
enjoying?
as you can see, the our addiction to
Yes,
puns does not stop with hell.
this is true.
When making the names for some of these, I got too caught up in my own world. Like things like top tier, big fan of. I don't care. I love it. I'm sorry. I will not apologize.
That's fair.
But things like I do like kind of straight up damage and increasing the weapon damage one is especially because we also buffed the weapon based blessings for all classes, so you can just stack flat weapon damage better than ever before. Um, Repost Finale is probably one of the more fun. Again, I've been playing a lot more Guardian lately, so just relying on getting hit constantly. And this triggers a radius of explosions when you do get hit. So sometimes it's just funny to walk into an enemy camp just as if you're going to surrender and then just clear out the camp. It's great.
Yes,
You just have to
yes.
make sure you can survive it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just catching up. I know everybody is appreciating the puns as well in the chat. Gonna pick up a few questions from the chat quickly. Baron Plume, I know you're asking about Midgardians, about points. You can absolutely ask that in our Discord. We have a dedicated Midgardians channel for that, where you can get all the answers you need. The mods are going to be there. They can help you out for Midgardians questions. We have some first time chatters, some people who are just joining us. Hello, welcome to the stream. We are going through the Witch Saga update patch notes, talking about them, talking about what you've been liking in the update so far. So feel free if you have any questions to drop them in the chat. Arsarian Cat, this is where I stopped reading. Too much excitement in the game. Had to play. Well, great, you're here. You can enjoy the patch notes with us. Uh, let's see. Just double checking. Iceland is good for spas. Need a spa day. Yeah, I like that one. Nordic spa. I like the name of it. Mm-mm-mm. Shovel warfare sounds great because I'm imagining trench warfare where you dig next to the giant as it heads towards your village. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Amazing. Oh, good question. From PSN highlight. I believe so. Can other players, this one's related to farming, can other players farm my plants for me? I'm assuming
I,
so.
I believe so because
Okay,
it becomes like a resource node.
okay, okay. Perfect. Okay, I think I'm mostly caught up for now. Okay, perfect. Is there an achievement for killing a Jotun with a shovel explosion? That's a good one. I like that. Yes, the shift codes, just to answer the question, the shift codes are just going to be a random drop. So as you're chatting in the chat, it's just going to be completely random if you get a shift drop for the Garmer pup. I'll be doing this in the future streams as well, so if you miss out today, don't worry about it. I'm going to be doing another stream on Friday, a gameplay stream where I take on the Witch Saga. So if you come out for that one, you can also have a chance to get a drop. And then just check your whispers. But yeah, I think that summarizes the runes. I think we can move on to the next, which is the starter kits. So we have 5 new starter kits, which came to the Witch Saga update. Right here, I'll have them up on screen. Just to name them super quick, the Extreme Conditions starter kit, so that contains the 2 new runes we just talked about, Walking Fridge, Walking Furnace. Then we have the Meal Maker starter kit, which gives you, the meals, the new meals we just talked about. We have Mastery and Embrace, which also have the top tier rune and I Don't Care rune, the All Farmer starter kit, which gives you a bunch of new essences. So that's the one we mentioned. If you want to get out there and start farming right away, you can do that. And finally, the Party Viking starter kit, which gives you a ton of explosive runes. It's a good time. I already saw people in the chat saying this is the one they want to use, as well as on Twitter, I saw somebody saying, "Ooh, that Party Viking like caught my eye immediately." So I'm
Yeah,
very excited to use that.
it's pure chaos, but very potent, powerful, and useful chaos.
Yeah,
And it's especially as a starter kit, just having nothing and then yeah, just being an harbinger of explosions. It's great fun.
yeah, exactly. And then just to speak briefly about how you get starter kits and what starter kits are. So you can get them through, I believe the season track is how we unlock these starter kits, and a
Yeah,
challenge as well.
yeah. The new ones are always these are the ones debuting with the saga are unlocked via a combination of the season track or new challenges that we've added.
Perfect. Yep, and starter kits are unlimited use, meaning that like, yep, you can equip whatever starter kit you want for a game. They're not gonna like expire or use them up. You can choose any one you have unlocked. So yeah, those are the new starter kits. I'm gonna swap back to the patch notes in a moment. Perfect. And go through the next little section we wanted to talk about. So as mentioned, there's going to be a new ancient variant in the game, Vile Spitter Jormungandr. So, Yormi, as we know and love him, has also received an update, which is, Bonebreaker Yormi. Maybe you want to talk briefly about the difference between the two and what we've done to them.
Yeah, so Vile Spitter, I mentioned at the top of the stream that we really kind of went all in on his infamous mythic trait, which was poison. In the Tales of Norse myth, it's Jormungandr's poison that ultimately takes down Thor. So this one's all about poison attacks. It has especially like this one really brutal radial poison attacks where it just vomits poison over the entire arena. So when doing that to better differentiate it from the original, what was the OG Yormi is now Bonebreaker Yormi, and we've done some variations to the fight, including giving a tweak to the tail slam ability, and now the tail slam can do kind of like a 3-hit combo. So he's just a smashy, throwing a tantrum type Yormi
Yeah.
versus the more vile, uh,
Yeah.
vomited up
Vile,
poison
yeah.
of Valspitter.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's very much like his namesake, Vile Spitter. Yeah, definitely. And then along with the, new enemy, or variant, I would say, is that we have new enemies. So there's the Draugr and then the Healthing Guardling that you can see right here on the image. Draugr are undead. They are fallen warriors. They lost their chance to be a nine Harryar, which you are, of course, and then serve hell now. So they have become part of our army. You'll find them. They're pretty tough, I would say. And then the Hellthing Guardling is just this kind of like big, beefy, oversized version of our Hellthings. He's going to be guarding, which is why you see Guardling, a very important spot in Niflheim. So you will see them in Niflheim, nowhere else. That's the only place you'll be able to find them.
Yeah, we very much wanted to evoke the feeling of when going into Niflheim that you're going into, enemy's home territory. Like the hell things come from Helheim and Niflheim. So when you go there and it's always night, you're gonna see a bunch of hell things everywhere, just roaming, minding their own business until you interrupt them. And then with a combination of Draugr and the Guardling, very beefy kind of garrison type defenses. The Draugr are especially imposing as by wielding spears. That means they naturally have some pretty good range on you when trying to get in close with either an axe or a hammer. They will outdistance you.
Hmm.
They also have some frost themes attacked, whereas the Guardling are they're beefy. They'll literally smack you around quite a bit, and it will take a lot to take them down, especially if they're in groups. It can be quite devastating.
Yeah, I see somebody say that he skipped leg day, which I believe is very true.
When you see how they walk, they don't need no legs.
That's true. That is true. I just want to pull out some specific questions. One from Kaiju asking, "Can you drop starter kit runes as well then?" Which is a good question. Since you can drop any room, I'm assuming we can drop starter kit runes as well.
I believe so. If the
Okay.
starter kit comes with a rune, it should be they've get another
Okay.
rune.
Might have to double check that, Kaiju, but I believe we believe so. Cool. I had one other question. I believe it had got lost. Maybe it's lost. Wait. Oh, Leo Twix. Hello. Hi, Leo. How are you doing? I do see your message. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're well. We're going through the new update notes right now. Also, Arsarian saying, I was not expecting the Health and Guardling gorilla walk. It kind of does do that, the walk. Very true. Hello, hello. Cool. So yeah, we can move along in the patch notes. I'm gonna pull them up once more. Yeah, so we've got some more kind of rapid fire notes in between these kind of bigger things here. So one is that there's a new dungeon type, caves, which are one-way caves, which can be found only in the Bright Forest, and then they serve as dens for a myriad of creatures. It's kind of vague, but I know Zach, you can also speak a little bit to that as well.
Yeah, because you find them in the bright forest, it's just a nice little thing to stumble across, go inside, clear out a den of monsters. Kind of evokes that den of evil,
Yeah.
Diablo 2 style of just going in, not sure whether or not you're powerful enough to take it on, but if you are, not only do you get a bunch of creature materials, but there's a couple of chests within, and those chests I hinted at before are pretty good with having refined materials, which are always super valuable when trying to either build extractors or stations. And it's also a great place to earn essences. So if you come across a cave when traveling the Bright Forest, if you can handle it, it's always good to take a little moment, pop inside, and grab
Hmm.
those chests.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. And then something else kind of new is that we have new underpass layouts. So this is just a small note to say that there's a couple more randomly generated layouts for the underpasses, change things up a little bit. And each underpass
Keep you on your
layout,
toes.
exactly, and each of the layouts has an elite creature, so tread carefully. And as says in the notes, you got this. We believe in you. You can do it. Even if it's an elite creature, you can do it. And something I should mention as well, in the patch notes, I have these little hearts. That means it's something that has been especially requested by the community, including this one in survival. So we have a new station, which is the quest board. So now you have a quest board in survival. If you don't know what it is, I'll just throw up a quick image. It's a board that was previously only in saga mode. You can go up there, you can pick a personal quest, and then the quest will give you rewards, such as weaponry, like some really good weapons. So if you don't have the materials to craft something, you could just pick up a quest, fulfill the quest requirements, and then turn in that quest and get that from the villager or NPC that beckons you for the personal quest. So you can build this station in survival mode. And I think yeah, I think that's what I wanted to mention. And that you can now get fragments, correct? From now that there's the quest board in survival. The
Yes.
quest fragments? Yeah. Okay, cool. Perfect. Something else pretty cool is that you can change the customization options in the game now. I'm gonna pull up a better clip of that so you can see it. There we go. So in Saga mode, you can go inside the longhouse, which I know some people like never go in the longhouse, but it is you can go in the longhouse. It's at the top of your village. It's behind Dagny. If you go in there, you can see the golden altar as well, which gives you runes for golden horns. But now we have these stations. We have the pull it over the character mirror, which allows you to change your face, your hair, body type, etc. We have the accessory hut, which lets you change your pet and loot chest. The weapon collection, you can change any weapon, and then the protection mannequin, so you can change your setup, whatever you want. So you don't have to leave the game anymore. Basically, you can just stay in game, change your customization options anytime. And then in
Yeah,
survival mode as well. Yeah, you have them in survival mode. You have to craft them. Yeah,
exactly. In survival mode, you can place them wherever you want, and really just keeps everything in game, as Sid was saying. Kind of reduce the need to hop back in and out to the main menu. Super helpful. Swap out your pets if you want to try out a new one. Sample all those gorgeous petting animations.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is true. If you want to like try the pets like really quickly and try those animations, that's a really good like feature about that. I see. I'm gonna pull out some questions from the chat. I see Billy asking were there class updates with the new season. Yes, we're gonna get into those in the balancing. There were definitely class changes in the update. So checking. Ravenfell saying I absolutely love the caves. The aesthetic and the drops are really nice. That's awesome to hear. They do look a little different than the caves we've had in the past, so I appreciate that. Oh, same with Quetzaltri saying the same thing. Awesome.
Yeah, I love me some dungeon delving.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like the caves were a needed thing. More underground areas are welcome. I agree. I think when I saw the like underpass for the first time, I was it was something so new to tribes. Like it felt so different that we could have those dungeon caves. That was really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Checking. What helmet is that? Are you? Oh, you're referring to the helmet here, the deer helmet. That is the seer. If you complete the seer class challenge, then you can get this helmet here. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, seer challenge helmet. Exactly. Is this update currently live? Yes, this update is live. This is the Witch Saga. It's live now. You can play it. We're just going through the patch notes, highlighting some stuff. But yeah, totally playable as of today. So it launched today. And speaking of patch notes, I will zip back to those. So something really cool is another new tool we have in game, which is the sickle. So this was also something that I saw mentioned by the community here and there, which was to have something that increased harvesting of stuff like grass. It's something we didn't have a tool for previously. So if you craft the sickle, you use it on the grass, you can then have more grass basically, which is kind of how it is with the other tools as well. So the higher the yield of resources.
yeah. Basically, any of those previously hand-picked materials, you now have a way to increase that yield.
Absolutely. The next one, which I also consider like a huge change to the game, is the new sorcerer item, Mimir's Water, which lets you reset your blessings. So this is a legendary potion. You buy it at a sorcerer for golden horns, and it'll let you reset your class and blessings subsequently, like anytime. Anytime you can change your class. Anytime you have this potion. Um, I have yet to use it because I'm like, how am I going to use it? How am I going to approach it? I'm curious to see how you guys approach it, like within the community. What you have, do you have plans for it? Let me know. I'm curious. This is something that was brought up quite a lot too.
I'm super curious to see, yeah, how the speedrunning community will tackle that one, because I know for me, when I was doing my quad kill, one of the first times that I tried it is I went hunter early on, used its bountiful grasp and got all the materials and everything I needed. And then as I started to see how my rune belt was manifesting,
Yeah,
I switched over to a class that I felt could maximize on those runes to
yeah,
start snowballing the ancients. So it just really, again, theme of this release is just increasing the amount of options and ways to play the game and kind of customize your optimal experience.
absolutely. Just gonna pull this up. Perfect. Just to check the chat. I just said the first comment I see are mushrooms are the bane of my existence. I mean, they're going to be even more so in this update, getting mushrooms to make those cold potions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plant some mushroom essences.
And I guess the sickle then, yeah, the sickle will be able to affect those mushrooms as well, because it's a,
Yep.
yeah, okay, cool. Hunter and scythe is going to get crazy, I think. Yes. Oh, and the sickle, you mean? Yeah, the hunter plus the sickle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Arcerian cat. Oh, I didn't realize it would let you swap classes. I thought only within your chosen class. No, so you can change classes, like entirely. Yeah.
Yep. Because it refunds all blessing points, and when you pick a class, it automatically uses 1 blessing point.
Yeah, exactly. Legendary Elfie. Hi, Elfie. Hello again. I'm playing currently. Amazing. Let us know how it goes. I don't think I missed anything for now. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm gonna continue with the patch notes. Whoops, hold on. I'm not meaning to be a Inception. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. So yeah, there's going to be new ingredients. I know we kind of talked about this briefly with the farming that we had mentioned, but there's going to be vegetables. They're added. These vegetables are turnip, radish, onion, cabbage, and pea. So those are the vegetable essences basically that you can find. Yeah, to be able to. Sorry, what's the word? Not harvest. Harvest is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, we need some synonyms for harvest because I feel like
I
I'm
know.
saying harvest a lot.
Harvest. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but a lot of these new vegetables are crucial in the new, especially the new powerful meals that we've added, the epic and legendaries.
Mhm, for sure. Very important one is facial hair. We've implemented facial hair as a customization option separate from hairstyles or faces. So you can find that in the character customize tab. So beards are here. You can apply the beard regardless of your body type. So anybody can wear a beard, of course. And the color is tied with the hair dye you select. So that's very exciting. I think there's one in particular we wanted to call out, which was related to Balder, correct? Let me like
Yes, the
pull up a picture. There we go.
that finely beeswax tweezed mustachio and goatee. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's been in Helheim for I don't know how many years, but he still managed to find that beeswax tweeze that mustache.
yeah, absolutely. It's on point. It's beautiful.
That's why he's Balder, man.
Absolutely. And you too can look like Balder, is what we're saying. You too can look like
Mhm.
Balder, which is very exciting.
Yep,
And
as
you can,
rewards, we have
yeah,
the hair, the beard options. We also have the face option, so the tattoos and the golden eye color, which is always looks really nice.
yep, absolutely. Sure. And then the next, which you've kind of seen earlier, which was that there are new constructions in survival. So you saw that in the sapling clip that there's like the poison ballista, flame turret. These are placeable defense options. There's new pieces for constructions like the thatch, wooden, and slate inverted roof. There is Hymir's pot, which is a legendary construction that you get for turning in the Hell trophy at Ira. When full, you can activate it to receive a large boost of damage for 5 minutes. So use this wisely, use this however you want to use it. It's an interesting way to get a boost of damage, and I feel it can be used very strategically. We have the shield mount, so you're able to mount your shield and display it, and the Blades of Hell, which is just the decorative construction that you get for claiming your victory over Hell, which is kind of cool. So put it in your house, display it however you want. I'm excited to see how these look when you guys craft them. We also have some new challenges. So on the rewards track, obviously we have a brand new rewards track. Everything from the previous rewards track was moved to the shop for Golden Horns, so you can still find it there. We have new survival challenges. We have new saga challenges to keep you challenged, I guess is the word. There's the quadruple kill, like I had mentioned, which is to kill 4 ancients in a single world. We have the new ones relating to Bonebreaker Yormi, Vile Spitter Yormi, and then the Witch Saga. So for defeating Hell, you can earn some pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna move on to the cosmetics then. So we have new cosmetic sets along with the armor sets. We have the Helkery. I'm gonna bring that up, show you a better picture of it. The Helkery set. So this is the one you have probably seen on our Twitter. We had some teasers going on for quite a while. Otto was wearing it. It's got these wings. Let us know if you have bought it yet. If you have, take a screenshot, show us in our Discord. Love to see your setup and how you combine it with other pieces. This is our second set with wings. I'm trying to think of the other one. The Valkyrie.
High Valkyrie. Yeah.
High Valkyrie. Yeah, had the wings. This is our second set with wings.
So this is yeah, pretty consciously an antithesis to this one.
Yeah.
So if you read the Loke about it, it's about Hell, after receiving a tip from another cosmetic, started getting jealous of how the Valkyries were making Einherjar, so
Yeah.
use this
Yeah.
Valkyrie to start making Draugr.
I love this. I feel like we need to have like a Valkyrie and like the Valkyrie side by side. Like just
Yeah.
find somebody and then like pose side by side. That'd be cute.
I like to describe it as like a hungry hippos of souls.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And then the next one we have besides that one is we also have the Mudgutter set. So Mudgutter is somebody that you're going to meet in the game. She's a character, part of the Saga quest, the Hell Saga quest, and you can look like her if you would like with this set. I think this is one of the coolest ones too. And then finally, we have the Draugr set. So this one here, which is also very cool. You can look like one of the undead as well. I saw some people already saying, like, from the clips we had shared on Twitter, where can I get that spear? You can get it here as part of the Draugr set. And this is all of them all together, just so you can see them a little bit better. Check if there's any questions in the chat. Thank you all for being here, by the way, for joining us today for the Witch Saga stream. Are the wings part of the chest piece or a separate one? They are part of the chest, so they were, yeah, built into the chest as wings.
Correct.
Yeah. Modgutter looks awesome. Thank you. Is there an associated pet with this one, like the High Valkyrie armor? I'm glad you asked. That is the very next thing I'm going to show you, is the pets. Just double checking. Okay, I think I'm pretty much caught up for now. I'm going to jump into the next part of the patch notes, which is indeed the new pets. So if I'll put them up here, we have the three little cuties who are the new pets in game. We have Queen Hell. She's she's got the fire in her eyes, and she looks like she's ready to tear tear it up. And then we have the Garmer pup. This is the one that I just mentioned. This is actually the one that we're giving away a shift code today as a random drop. You might be able to get a random drop if you're just chatting in the chat. So this is a little Garmer. And we've been showing it on Twitter here and there. So it finally has a name. And then the last one is Hella Stella with the guitar, ready to rock it out. And yeah, I'm so happy with how cute these turned out. Like,
Yeah,
I think
and
they
I'm
turned out really
also, in addition to just the art and everything for the pets, I continue to love how our animators are knocking it out of the park with the petting animations. They just keep one upping themselves.
well.
So highly suggest if you manage to get your hands on any of these pets, do go through with the petting animation, especially Hella Stella. So when I was talking with the animator, because High Valkyrie and the Folkery, the little pony pets petting animation is kind of like a little prance, little dance. It's very high society.
Yeah.
So when we were doing the Hella Stella, I was talking to the animator. I'm like, I need the opposite of that, just something. And then he sent this kind of joke of just rocking out, and we just rolled with it, and it turned
Yes.
out fantastic. You should check it in game. I love it. I love it so much.
Yes. I love it too. I think it's really cute. I'm just seeing if I can find. I'm seeing if I can find. I think we had a video of the pets montage. I'll do a quick check, you guys. I'll do a quick check, see if I can find it. If I can't, that's fine. But I would love to show you what those petting pets look like. Oh, I think I did find it. Oh, this might be it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, I think I found it. Okay. Give me 1 second. I will find it. I promise it is worth the 2 second wait. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna put it up here. Yeah! Okay. Stream edition, but I'm adding it. There we go. Hopefully it's not gonna be too loud. I'll turn it down. Okay, I'll reloop it. Here we go. Okay. So there is Hella Stella with the guitar. Then we have, of course, the Garmer pup with the belly rub, and then we have Queen Hell, who just like summons her hell blades above her head. So yeah, there's what it looks like. You get a little peek. Petting animations. Are they having special effects? Yes, right here. Switching up. I need all of them. Yes. Yes, belly rub. I'm glad you guys like the pets. They just add a little happiness to Midgard. But yeah, beside the pets, I'm gonna go back to the patch notes. Let me just go back. Switch back. Perfect. So we also have some other various cosmetics that are coming. We have the Niflheim loot chest. We have the Hell loot chest. So these are what happens when you die. You have a loot chest. The Jogger portrait, the Squirrel portrait. I want the Squirrel portrait. The Guardling portrait, and then Modgutter portrait. So just some more portraits to personalize your Viking in Midgard. Because I see these patch notes are lengthy because I see we're not nearing the end time, but we're getting there. So I want to start with this next section, which is the balance changes. So this is more stuff to talk about. We're going to call out the most important. I know there's a lot of balance changes in here. If you want to read them in depth, you can always just check in the patch notes as well, which is on our website. But briefly, just to talk about crafting station dependencies, there has been some changes. You can check there if you're not sure where stations are going in survival. If you're like, oh, I can't find the ammunition shelf anymore, that kind of thing. You can go to the patch notes. You can find them there. This is all to make it easier to locate items, user experience wise. I believe that's all I wanted to call out for that. Was there anything else you wanted to call out for the crafting stations,
For
Zach?
crafting stations, I mean, yeah, the changing of the dependencies just makes it really easy to locate the crafting stations, especially the upgrades. Because before it was sometimes you would have to go into a specific crafting station sub tab to find a different station. So really, we just by putting it more kind of in the root folder, so to speak,
Yeah.
it'll just be easier to access. And we changed some of the recipe around to factor that in. Um, and yeah, the boat dock now requiring ancient cores instead of the yarn sacks and materials. That's because you don't really need it to fire up the boat dock anymore, because keep in mind you can also use a starter kit to have a boat equipped right at the beginning if you wanted to. So we,
Yep.
we adjusted that to kind of just factor in where the game is at now.
Absolutely. Some various balancing as well, like the artifact alter costs. Let me see. I've risen slightly. Uh, just double checking if there's anything I want to call out here. Oh yes, so there's our answer to boss upper limit. So the Jotnar and Ancients cap at level 10 in survival mode at the time being, but they're going to be pretty difficult to fight at that level 10 level. I'm excited to see who is going to challenge them at that range. Uh, Perfect. In the sanctuary, I think that's something kind of cool to go out. In the sanctuary, it's now a temperature safe zone, so similar to like shrines or merchants and sorcerers. When you stand at their stations, you are protected from the elements. So when you're at the sanctuary, you're not protected. I don't think there's anything I wanted to call out here. I think we can jump directly probably into the runes section. We had a long Norspell note here, but it's just to tell you about why we made the balancing changes to runes that we did. If Zach, you want to take it away and maybe just go over that briefly, what we wanted to mention.
Yeah, I know there's been looking over Discord and chats. There's been some attention called to the solar powered rune getting nerfed, and really what that was is because at its maximum damage, and especially because you start keeping a portion of your souls when you die by default, the risk reward started to get out of balance. And so for a single rune slot, it had a maximum power of I think 500 flat damage, which is a lot. And when you have anything that's just kind of a no-brainer like that, it starts to take away from different build options or different options being viable. And one of the things when we were looking at the values and the tweaks, and we just wanted to bring a lot of runes and a lot of options up to kind of encourage people to try out some new builds, some new options, lean into like not feel forced to play a play style that isn't their own, and see how kind of these differences can fit into the play style that players have honed for themselves or want to try out, and really just more options equal more options to deal damage. And we mentioned that in the notes above, that not just in terms of utility, but as the late game comes, damage is still supremely valuable. Offense is a great defense. So we just wanted to find new ways to deal damage effectively.
Mhm.
Uh,
Absolutely. I think that
so
covers
I was
like,
just going to say
yeah, yeah.
some, without going through all of them, some to call out right away. Like making waves increasing from 300 damage to 600 damage. That's one where you're holding the shield out, and after a few seconds, it'll do like a bubble of damage. That is already more effective on its own, but then it starts synergizing with classes who use the shield a lot, for example, like the Guardian or the Sentinel. So again, just new ways to play and new ways to deal damage and be effective at all stages.
Mhm. Yeah. And then I also see Arsarian saying, yeah, the buffs to archery runes have helped me a lot as a ranged player as well, which is great to hear. We always want to hear that. I feel like the bow has had such a redemption as well over the course of the game. I feel like it was not one of the favored weapons, but it slowly like has become, more and more used as the game has gone on.
One bit of nuance that's important to factor in for anybody looking to try out new builds is that there is a difference between a percentage damage increase and a flat damage increase. So a nothing to hide or a solar powered adds flat damage, whereas things like, Arm of Uller and Farfetched add a percentage. Flat damage on its own will be powerful. Percentage on its own is only going to be built off of your flat damage. So the best thing to do is actually combine those. Is if you were to have one or two flat damage runes to build up your flat damage base, and then percentage runes on top of that to carry it further. Not to get into a whole math lesson here, but
I'm
it really
listening.
does kind of
I'm
it
listening here.
really
I'm learning.
it really
Yeah.
does open it up. It
Yeah.
opens it up quite a bit. So
Yeah.
having like one solar powered plus the arm of Uller is probably better than having a bunch of any one stack.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a comment from Kaiju as well. This part is not fun for me. I'm not a min-maxer, like Furl. Yes, like Furl for sure. And other people in our Discord who have just been like, they purely talk in numbers, like Lucky we have in the Discord. We have, yeah, Furl, for example, who are just giving all these numbers, and then my brain is just like, do, do, do. Like it's like the calculating noise, but I'm having a great time, having fun. I'm trying to get, advice from others in terms of like maxing out my damage capabilities,
Mhm.
for sure. But yeah, I think everything you said, I hope it makes sense to all of you guys as well. I saw some comments that saying, yeah, makes sense, good adaptation. Glad you understand. And yeah, these runes were
Uh,
definitely talked about a lot. We took a lot of this from the community as well, just in terms of what you've been saying.
and we hope that it caters to both because. And if you don't want to get into all that min-max details, the buffs, the runes, and the blessings will help you be effective pretty much any way that you want to play.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Mousy. And I'm also reading the chat on my phone here. Perfect. Yeah, similarly, we also made a lot of changes to classes as well, which is really cool. I'll let you speak to it in a moment, but just in general, yeah, we wanted to increase build flexibility and then hone in on the classes' strengths and gameplay niche. So wanted to make all of the classes viable. They are, but we were seeing some people were favoring certain classes over others, and we just wanted to make some, overall changes to all of the classes here. As you can see from the list, we really did touch on quite a few of the classes um, to make some much needed improvements, I would say.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's a good point about not just making them all viable, but really just kind of honing in on their playstyle and what their niche is, what their kind of class identity is. So in general, like having the weapon and elemental masteries buffed just makes those blessing picks more useful across the board and can slot into any builds. But for example, when it comes to class identity, Warriors Underdog, it was a pretty good blessing to begin with, but the buff to damage was just not consequential enough that you would really notice it as a player when surrounded. So by really just being like, I mean, this is Warrior's thing, loves being surrounded. Let's crank it up. So now you really feel that when you're surrounded by a handful of enemies, you are going to decimate that crowd. Um, Same thing with the Warrior's Final Act, increasing from 275% damage. So that's the third hit of a combo. That synergizes with weapons that have a very devastating kind of combo cycle. So, like a sword, for example, has that spin on the third hit. That will now do a lot more damage, and it's very consistent damage. Guardian buffing up the HP just to make it more naturally tanky. And then we did a massive update to the pain release. So pain release was Guardian's key mechanic of when you're shielding and you block some hits, you build up a pain meter. And then when you release your block, it releases the pain and does an AoE cold damage that stuns everything nearby, does some damage. but the upgrade to it also gives you attack speed and movement speed. However, that attack speed and movement speed only lasted 5 seconds originally. So once you had kind of cleared out a group of enemies, you were kind of done. You would just, while running to the next fight, you would lose that buff. So now by increasing just that buff to 20 seconds, it already just kind of drastically changes it. Guardian turns into a much more um, dangerous counter-attacking playstyle because you can go in, build up your pain release, knock out a group of enemies, and then just maintain that buff as you go from fight to fight to fight.
Yep.
And it just creates a nice, unique playstyle, which I am becoming, as I said at the top of the
I'm
stream,
excited.
increasingly a
Yeah.
fan of.
I
Yeah.
want to try it. I want to try it for sure. For sure. Let's see. Is there any other ones from here to call out? I know there was like further down in this list here. Obviously, the Berserker got some attention too, in terms
Mhm.
of like damage increase and hit chance increase, which is very, very cool. Uh,
Yeah. The Hunter decoys is another
yeah,
one where
yeah,
because the decoy damage doesn't scale as high as some other abilities, we wanted to make sure that the decoy's key effectiveness is always that it is inherently a decoy. So it takes some of the pressure off yourself. But by giving a pretty significant upgrade to their base damage, it helps make them more useful in the early mid games, and also increases that effectiveness to the late game as well. So like that wolf leaf, like hitting for 1,000 up front, if you like rush the Scotty's wolf on Hunter, it can already help you out a lot.
yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that as a hunter player, for sure. I'm excited to try. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoy the changes and you have fun trying out the classes. I'm just gonna throw up one more picture of the classes. If you haven't seen them or if you're new, these are the classes. You choose, the class in the game, and with the new potion we have, you can also change your class in the game. But yeah, have fun, try them out. Let us know what you think about the balancing changes. It's been a while since we've paid this, not paid this much attention, but like went in and really thought hard about how we could rebalance the classes. So let us know what you think. We'd love to know. I think that's it. I think we can move on to the last section. We are on the last section. We are making it through these notes, which is one of the fun sections, which is quality of life. Also, hello, Furl. I see you in the chat. How are you doing? Welcome. Welcome on in. Hope you guys are having fun playing your runs. Kaiju, Ranger is still my class. Yes. Nice. Oh, and Shoke Gaming. You're both Ranger. Amazing. I'll double check if there's any questions. I have the chat up on my phone just because I'm using my screen to share the patch notes. Update sounds great. Can't wait to play. Awesome. Excited for you to play. Arcerian Cat. So many quality of life. Yes, we have quite a few quality of lives to go through. Like I said, one of the most fun sections to go through. So I'm going to semi-speed run them, but here we are. The first one is that there are challenge menus is in the game now. So no longer do you have to kind of exit and go to the main menu to check how you're doing in terms of challenge progression or to even redeem the challenge. As you can see here, you can redeem it directly in the game. So it's just a tab when you are in like your settings menu. You can see all the tabs. It's a tab that is challenges, so you can track them, you can redeem them, you can claim them there. This is super, super convenient if you want to be doing that. Something else we added is a storage chest dismantling failsafe, so you can no longer dismantle your storage chest if there are items in the chest. We know that had happened a couple times. We definitely wanted to make that right, and this is making it right here, so you're no longer able to lose your precious items that you had in the chest. Another one is PC chat log improvements. So you're now able to see the chat history and you're able to scroll up and down. You're able to see timestamps and all of that. So you can keep track of everything that's going on. I think I said it in a TikTok that I made, but I forget everything that has ever been said. So, I'll be able to read everything that has been said in the game. We also have some game over screen improvements, so players can now view the profile of other players and you can add them as friends, which is huge, especially since Tribes is very co-op based. You can play with up to 10 players. We want to be able to be staying in touch with those players. Of course, we have our Discord you can join and find a group and hang out with people that way, but this is just another way to improve that matchmaking experience. We had quite a lot of construction improvements. So the height limit, most notably, was increased to 9 from 5. So as you can see in the GIF right here, you can build these bigger and better and higher constructions here. You can build whatever you would like. You can build a tree house. Let your heart build to your desire. I'd love to see your builds with the new construction height increase. We have some flavor. within here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I would want to pull out. But basically just UX improvements, things to make your experience with the construction mode a little bit more easy to use, a little bit more seamless. Some of the stuff that I've noticed has been even, believe, yes, the grid up and down. So when you're trying to build up and down, it's assigned to the mouse wheel, so you can very easily build. I think that's all I wanted to call out. Was there anything from construction in UX you wanted to call out, Zach? Or
Just as you can see, one of our biggest sections of every release is quality of life, and it always astounds me. I've been with the team like not forever, but for some time, just how much these quality of life changes just um, positively impact like just the moment to moment gameplay.
Absolutely. Double check. Time to work on my spaceship. Yes, time to work on your spaceship. Please do, John. I want to see you build it. That's a good question, Arsarian. I might know, maybe not know the answer. Maybe. Is it 9 from the ground? I believe it's 9 from the ground in terms of building. So like it wouldn't be 9 if I got on a cliff and then built 9 stories higher on that cliff. I'm not sure. I might have to double check that. I don't know if you, Zach, know that off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Let's do it. We will find out for you. We'll let you know. As always, if there's any questions we can't answer during the stream, just join our Discord. We will talk with you there. More relating to construction, there's an undo button, which is really, makes it easier to construct as well. Rarity preview will be reflected in the HUD. Camera rotation orientation. When rotating the camera from build mode, the minimap will now orient with you, so you're not going to be turned around anymore. Piece dismantling, construction piece dismantling. When dismantling, you'll now receive the construction piece as a loot drop rather than the materials required to build it. You'll see some visual damage, some visual updates. I thought this was pretty cool when I saw it in game. Your construction will actually look damaged rather than just losing health and not changing its visuals. Landscaping, you'll be able to place construction piece over a grass, a bush, a resource like a tree, and enemies will no longer spawn on top, inside, or anywhere around a construction piece if it was placed near a spawn point, which is also very, very handy. So that's it for construction. In terms of world admin options, let me just pull this up right here. Yeah, we have some new options. This was also community based, this decision. We saw this suggested quite often. So, in terms of survival mode, before I talk about Saga, you can view the world name and toggle revealing the world password if it's a private match. And then in Saga mode, you can trigger a vote to kick or vote to ban in the game. So we want to make sure, you have more options in terms of playing with the people you want to keep the place, what's the word? Keep the space like a better space for everybody, basically, in playing in multiplayer. I'm just gonna double check the chat, see if y'all, mini map rotation. Thank you, little heart. Nice. The undo gift is a gift. The undo button is a gift from above. Yes, have fun with it.
Agreed.
Have fun with it. Yes. Kick the trolls. Okay. Hold on. Okay, perfect. Just double checking the chat. Then in terms of quality of life, season track claiming to call out, season track are no longer claimed automatically upon leveling up in the season track. You have to claim them manually, harmonizing the behavior with the other rewards just to make it nice and harmonized. Mana gauge threshold. Once you've acquired enough mana to fill a segment, the amount is now protected and won't deplete beyond that when struck by a foe. We've done some various changes to game mode listings. Zach, you might want to jump in on this one, just because I saw somebody in the Discord as well were like, oh, why were Saga mode and survival changed up? Like, why were their locations and names changed?
I think it comes down to how we wanted to position those two modes when it comes to first time user experience and like on gentle onboarding versus Saga mode, which is a little more hardcore by its nature. So we changed the moniker, the subtitle of Saga mode to The Last Stand, who said it's kind of like a time attack. It's an inherently stressful mode, kind of by design, where a survival mode for people to kind of get in, learn the mechanics, go at their own pace, and kind of take on the saga and the ancient challenge piecemeal, bit by bit, without that time pressure, much more like a traditional kind of campaign or story mode. So we felt that with the revamped Survival 2.0, it made sense for people coming in who have never played before to maybe see that as the highlight or the first one that they would maybe play around with. And then if they feel like they're comfortable with mechanics and they feel like they can, you know, speed run and knock out everything they
Mhm.
need to do in a given time, hop on over to Saga mode, and there's different challenges related to each. But yeah, we just felt that with 2.0, it made sense for new players to maybe get their footing in survival before hopping into Saga.
Fully agree. Fully agree. Yep.
Or if you want to jump into the deep end, it's
Go
up
for
to you.
it.
But
Go
yeah,
for it. We believe in you. Good luck. We believe. Yeah. Besides that, something to mention. Just checking. Dwarf divorce. I love that you wrote that there. Yeah. Sorcerers and merchants get their own map now. No longer combined to a single treasure map, which would reveal one or the other. Cat tutorial update. There's Solera and Maniclo, our lovely little cats, will be found in Saga mode as well to help people in Saga mode too. You can also toggle this on or off in the settings if you don't want to talk to the cats. You can do that. Hideout signage. This was a big one for me. So in hideouts, there's some signage that points towards the exit on each floor. So if you find yourself in a hideout and you're like fumbling around, you're trying to find the exit, look for the signs. They will lead the way. Just double checking if we add any other. Okay, perfect. In terms of accessibility updates, vibration is now set on a scale of intensity. Yes, another one is that we added an option to toggle the auto-equip behavior of new/repaired equipment on or off, which is great for those nothing to hide and nothing to wield builds. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this means for auto-equip, we can turn it on or off, so it will not auto-equip something if I don't want it to. Correct.
that was for
Auto-equip. This one right here, I can highlight it. Doop.
yeah. So that
Yep.
yeah, it's mostly when dealing with when picking up stuff from the ground or when repairing. So if you have that off, for example, if you're running like a nothing to wield build and you want to keep your weapon hand, your sword arm empty, if you have that toggled off, if you go and repair something that's in your inventory, it's not automatically going to jump into your hand. So it's just it's a bit of reduced friction for yeah, if you want to opt out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Just checking any other messages. Perfect. Yeah. We're almost to the end. We're getting through these. I'm sorry if you can hear a terrible noise. There is a snowplow outside my window.
Yeah, that
Um,
was happening to me earlier.
oh my
Oh,
god.
Canada.
Like Jesus. Yeah, loving Canadian. Um, what else is there? Yeah, idling in solo. You'll no longer be kicked for idling in solo, which is great. Fishing in peace. Fishing spots will no longer be destroyed when the fishing sequence was interrupted by damage. I think that's a great one. Pet auto looting level up. So souls, season XP, and construction pieces are now included in what the pet will pick up for you, which is something that I also saw mentioned here and there. Community asking why aren't the pets picking it up? But now they will. Last but not least, just any other improvements. We have a couple here. If you want to read them in depth, you can check them in the patch notes. I don't know if there's any I wanted to call out or you wanted to call out from these, Zach. Just double check these. Yeah, I think there's some that the community is noticing as they're playing. One of them being that in the shop, for example, you can see which event the cosmetic was related to. So if it was part of Val
Mhm.
Halloween, if it was part of Eula Days, if it was part of the anniversary event, you can see that in the shop now. So it's a easier way to visually see where those cosmetics came from, basically.
The in-game announcements are also pretty helpful for like triggering the letting you know when is the start of summer or winter seasons.
Mhm.
Survival.
Exactly. I saw somebody in the chat just say, let me see. Yeah, tribes bots. Pets use a jump down animation when following you from a cliff, edge, or slope. So, we gotta pay attention to those pet details. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I think, oh yes, and yeah, small one as well. Loot chests have their own category in the shop now too, because I had some people asking, where did the headstone loot chest go? Where did it go
Mm.
to? It's there, it's in the shop, it's in its own category now. So you can find it there. And as our little note says at the end, as always, don't hesitate to know if any let us know of any feedback or issues you encounter. As I mentioned, you can join our Discord. One of our mods can drop that link one more time in the chat. You can join us. Let us know if you have any issues in the report bugs channel. There's also a known bugs channel, so if you want to read up on the known issues, we might already have a solution for you there. If you have any feedback, we have a suggest an idea channel where you can upvote and downvote your favorite suggestions, and then we take those, we take the top ones every single month, and we take a look at them with our team. So your feedback will be heard that way. But yeah, I think we reached the end of the patch notes. We've done it. High five, Zach. GG. We've done it.
Cool.
Amazing. Thank you for helping me to read these. Yeah. High five. Thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna swap to the patch or to the key art once again so I can go back to the chat. Check if there's any questions or comments in the chat. If you have questions, feel free to rapid fire them right now. I'll try to answer a couple before we wrap up the stream because we're wrapping up, as you can see by our lighting, both mine and Zach's. I like that we have. I like
Sun's going.
that. Yeah.
Sun's getting real low.
Sun's gone. I like that we have opposite lightings. Like I'm the orange and then you're the
Yeah.
cool tone blue. We've got the differences here. Let me do a quick sweep of the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here for the Witch Saga stream. Da, da, da. Double check in. So nice for the enemies giving us signs in the hideouts. Yes, of course. The enemies just dropped them there. You know the goblins left them there. They put them for themselves and then they thought it would just help them. Mm-mm-mm. Any chance to get early Saga or other seasonal cosmetics, asks Baron. I want that goat, lol. Yes, from now on you will see all past Saga content in the shop. So Bucky the Yule Goat is in the shop. You can find him in the shop now. Go ahead, get your goat.
We've got Bucky the Yule Goat's been there since the Yule days.
Yes, I believe. Yeah, since Jupiter days. Pins jump down, so cute, absolutely. Just double check in. No Welk, you neck ripper. I believe there is maybe one more shift code to give away. I'm not sure, John, if there was one more shift code, if you're still around, to give out as a drop. Question, why is Tribe so fun? That's a good question. That's a good question. I feel like we could all answer that in very different ways.
Oh, the
Geeky.
other guy. I think they're talking about the Ram, Eric the Ram.
Oh, maybe Eric the Ram.
Should be in the shop.
Should be in the shop. They should all be in the shop. Deggy's question. Guys, is it just me or did tribes try to get more in the survival genre? Is this the future way the devs are going to go? I think if I could answer that in my words, I feel like we've, from the start, never just been, one genre. We've always blended different elements of different genres. We've had the survival
Mhm.
aspects, we've had the RPG aspects, we have the action. It's always been a blend. We have leaned a little bit more into that survival mode just because, if you were here at launch, for example, survival mode was not how it looks now. Survival mode was, I wouldn't say bare bones. It was just different than it is now. And we, realized that. And it wasn't the best it could have been. It hadn't been its full potential. We wanted to really revamp that. And that's why we came out with Survival 2.0. That might be why you see more of a focus on survival, is because we really focused hard on that mode to make it better and better, the best mode it could be. But we wanted to keep the elements of the other genres in there as well. But we really, wanted to put attention to that survival mode, while not forgetting Saga mode as well, and this kind of RPG storyline we have. And that's why we have the two modes, so you can play, whichever one you prefer. I don't know if you had any more
Absolutely.
to add. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, we've always had the survival mode, but as you said, the survival mode at launch needed a little bit of tender love and care to give it some direction and to make it rather than just a sandbox version of Saga, because that just wasn't as engaging. But also by adding the survival 2.0 and building on that, it did give an option for people who just did not want to deal with that time crunch or time pressure of Saga mode and really kind of lean into the building elements that have always been kind of a core pillar of our genre blend. We just didn't have a great way to play with those toys for a while until we made Survival 2.0.
Mhm.
So it was I don't think it's a matter of changing direction at all. It's more of a matter of just building on the direction that we've always had, which was making new genres and building upon those and seeing what kind of elements and ingredients, just like when making a meal, we'll take an ingredient from here, ingredient from there, stir it up, and hopefully we make a power broth.
Oh my god, I was gonna say, and this is our power broth. Yes, exactly. Just double check in any other comments before we head out. We're gonna wrap up. I'll give you a couple more reminders before we wrap up. I enjoy the survival mode. Lets me enjoy all the content with no pressure. That's another highlight of survival mode. It's just no pressure. You get to explore. You get to try all the content. Boo Dev saying this was a great cast. Would be great if more devs did this. Thanks for being a great castmate, Zach.
Mm.
It's been great. Yeah,
Oh,
if we
shucks.
yeah, Vudev, we do sometimes well, I've been trying to do streams every Friday. Sometimes they are every Friday, sometimes they're bi-weekly. We'll always put an announcement out on our socials when we have streams, but it's just a nice way for us to get to talk to you and stay in touch and tell you what's going on in the game. Demon Hunter, if you had a question, feel free to answer it one more time, since we're just gonna head out. And if I didn't answer your question today, or if we didn't, feel free to join the Discord and just ping us there. Ask it in the Discord. We'll have helpers, we have mods who will be able to answer your question. And I will be streaming this Friday, so that is the first reminder. I'll be streaming on Friday the 20th, I believe it is. I'll be doing a gameplay stream of the Witch Saga. I'll be giving out some shift codes as well, so if you missed this one, I'll be able to, yeah, be during that stream. Oh, how does the ban button work? Demon Hunter asks. You can do a vote to ban. So similar to the vote to kick. I will pull up that image one more time. Well, so you can vote to ban a player, but this has to be, majority vote. I don't know if Zach, you had any more specifics to add to that, but I just believe it's that. It's majority vote.
Yeah, it'll trigger the vote. I just love the fact that it's Maniclo getting kicked out and not Solera. It's so typical
Yep,
between the two of them.
yep. That's how it is. That's how
Maniclo's
it
so
tends to be.
toxic.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, well, of course, with everything we do, we'll monitor, we'll make sure that is working as intended, we'll make sure people are using it as intended, and we'll keep a close eye. All right, with that, I think I will finish up with some final reminders. That being that, obviously, the Witch Saga is out today, so you can play the Witch Saga. You can play all the other seasons as well. They're, still part of the game. This just builds upon the content that was already there. If you want to read the patch notes like we just went through, feel free to go to our website, Tribes of Midgard, and you can find the patch notes there. Please join our Discord if you want to, be part of our community. It's a great place to hang out, great place to be. We have some awesome people there. We have some speedrunners there who are more than happy to tell you their tips and tricks. We also, I wanted to mention, have a Midgardians program. So if you don't know what the Midgardians are, you can find that on our website. It's our dedicated community program where you can sign up. You get exclusive cosmetics that nobody has. You get a cute little Linda pet, a Princess Linda pet, which is just a little lizard. She's adorable. Just for signing up. It's totally free. All you do is you do quests every week or so, and they can just be things like the quest today was, share the new trailer or share the tweet that we had. It's just little supportive things that help us, and then you can earn points that give you just exclusive cosmetics. So if you're interested, you can check that out on our website. That's our Midgardians, and you can just be part of, you get a little role, you get a color on Discord. It's kind of fun. But that's it. I think that's all I have to say today. Um, yeah, that's awesome, Arsarian. Yay. Shout Gaming, any word on the 20k reward for Midgardians? Nothing to share just yet. We have been in discussions about it, so please stay tuned. We'll be sure to let the Midgardians know when that is coming. Thank you. Thank you, Baron Plume. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to wrap it up and end the stream in just a few moments. Once again, thank you for being here. We appreciate it so much. Thank you, Zach, for being here as well. Do you have any final words you want to share?
Farewell.
Oh my gosh, I was my ears, my ears. That was
Just
nice. It was
blowing up
nice.
the mic of the
No,
stream.
it was nice to my ears. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Perfect. But yeah, thank you guys. Have so much fun with the Witch Saga. Let us know how you find it and how you do. I will see you very very soon. I'll see you on Friday. And with that, sail sail. I will see you next time.
Sail, sail.
Bye.